Welcome to episode 223 of the Watchin It podcast. On today's show, Donnell returns to the pool where it all began. The Twilight Zone of anime. And on this episode of Snowpiercer, that's the wrong place for the manual override. Tell us about the pools, Donnell.
Well, I was, I can't remember what day. I think it was Sunday. I was recouping, and so I'd watched a little original Deadpool. Went back to the first.
Okay. The pool. Okay.
Yep. And yeah, been a minute since I've seen it.
I watched Once Upon a Deadpool.
Yeah.
Not that great.
I thought it was fun.
It was interesting to see how they did it.
Yeah. It definitely was an interesting way to do it. And yeah, I just like the whole Fred Savage thing where he's just like in his bed.
Yeah.
They're doing it. But anyway, yeah, so I went back and watched the original Deadpool. One is I did not remember how they told the story kind of out of order. Like it starts with him already Deadpool and you get caught up. So that I forgot about that. I felt like
Not worse than Captain Marvel.
no. Not at all. I felt like nothing. Like it's just things like you don't remember. There's the X-Men cameo, but that happens in Deadpool 2. So I was expecting that, and then like they did it. I didn't realize like they didn't really like the movie just makes you accept that he's already known. What's his name? Colossus and stuff. Like he just shows up and talks and all that stuff. Like there's no.
That's the magic of Deadpool.
Yeah.
Other than fixing all the costumes. Like he's just like, you know who Deadpool is.
Yeah.
Or there, you know who Colossus is.
Yeah. I just assume like no, they gotta have some like introductory scene where he's like, nope, he's just Colossus just sees him on the news and he's like, gotta go stop this fool. And yeah, just fun to go back see how it all began and all that stuff. I forgot that they kind of steered away from his original creation through the Weapon X thing, and it was like through just a random special program.
Yep.
And they basically were killing him to get, or like taking him to the brink of death to get his latent mutant gene to awaken. They did stick with him having cancer, and that's why he looks messed up. Is even though he's healing, it just heals with cancer cells, which is like gotta suck.
Well, my understanding is that like he's got the cancer trying to eat his body, and then the healing factor is just fighting against it.
No, so what I always heard was that he basically like when his healing factor got enabled, it basically just made it where it heals all his cells, including the cancer cells. So like he can't die, but he also like he's not technically cured of cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only thing that annoys me about Deadpool is his face is not more jacked up. He should just be like he's just kind of burn victim.
Victim-ist, yeah.
But like no, he should be like zombified, like really like disturbing.
In some
put
of the comics,
back on.
I was saying some of the comics he is a lot more messed up.
No, yeah, and that's what I want to see is where he's just completely like no, keep that mask on, sir. That is disturbing.
For also like literally one of the worst. I mean, he obviously got some super strength too, but the main villain, I forget what his name, but one of the worst superpowers. Like, there's actually a medical condition you can have where you can't feel pain, and that's all you got is essentially you got a medical condition where, and it's like that doesn't make you stronger. Like, I guess you can keep fighting until you realize, like, because you don't realize you're bleeding out or whatever. But like, it doesn't.
Well, there's something to be said about like there's like mom strength.
Yeah.
Well, like they could like lift a car or something like that. Like the only reason that we can't do that all the time is because our brain is telling us through pain, don't do that.
Exactly.
Because it's going to hurt your muscles. But I guess if you don't have that problem, then you could just.
So then maybe he doesn't have super strength. Maybe he just is able to push himself to that limit all the time because there's nothing telling him not to. But once again, that's still a bad thing because the reason why your brain tells you not to do that is if you go around lifting cars all the time when you're not built for it, because there are world's strongest men guys who do it, just in passing. But when you're not built for it, you're gonna mess up your freaking ligaments and muscles and all that. You're gonna be tearing stuff.
Healing factor. That's the.
I mean, I hope so, because freaking A. That was, like I said, it was one thing that was like that is a sucky power at the end of the day. But yeah, it was fun. Just went back, watched the original. Still holds up. I mean, it's not that old anyways, but still holds up, and definitely, just shows you how we got to having the 2 extra Deadpool movies we got. which both are fantastic. I need to watch 2 again. All right.
Two's the better one.
Yeah.
I still think.
Yeah. I will say, and like it sounds like there were, I don't know if they just weren't talks, if it was too expensive. I will say that is probably my biggest disappointment of Deadpool and Wolverine is no Cable.
Yeah.
I just like Josh Brolin did a great job as it, and I felt like he just fit in with the Deadpool.
I mean, in hindsight, now that it's been a few weeks since we did the Deadpool 3, I'm like, there's so much more they could have done with that, with like the TVA and stuff like that. Yeah, and him changing the past and whatnot. Yeah, they really could have like moved the whole situation forward, the whole MCU forward a big leap.
Yeah. But they said, I forget if it was director or if it was Kevin Feige, but one of them said, like, Deadpool is not meant to change the MCU. Like, and I think it was the director because he also was like, and officially, he's like, officially in the MCU timeline, I don't know where this movie falls.
Gotcha.
Like, it definitely falls after the Avengers are thing because he does go and speak to Happy about, joining the Avengers. So it happens after the Avengers are thing, but that's a very broad area that you could exist in. So yeah, I mean, it probably happens before Captain America: Civil War because it seems like the Avengers are on good terms.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, it probably happens in between the Avengers and Civil War. So sometime in there, that's where the Deadpool 3 movie lands. Anyways, yeah, watch Deadpool. It was fun. Gonna watch Deadpool 2 eventually. That'll be fun because they're all fun. Robert.
Back to talking about anime.
Zone. Yeah.
All right, so first one we'll start with. We're going to do 3 today.
Okay.
My list is still growing, and I've still got a backlog.
Just added a
to
new
work
one
through
today.
Possibly. We'll see if anything good. Look, my list, like, I've got, like, I think like 12 or 13 here that I still want to talk about, and then I've talked about however many I've talked about in the last, couple of months. I've watched twice as much as that.
Yeah.
It's just not everything makes the list of like what I want to suggest to people.
Yeah.
And whatnot. This is kind of almost not a suggestion, but it is. I really liked it. I mean, it's enough for me to write it down and put it on the list to talk about. It's called Licorice Recoil.
Okay. All right.
It is takes place in Japan, modern times. No fancy wizardry, no reincarnation, no other world Isekais, none of that business.
Just normal world.
It is about a bunch of orphan children girls who work for a secret agency called Licorice Recoil. Licorice. I don't think Recoil is part of the name. And their job is to work in the shadows of Japan with guns and machine guns and all that sort of, and knives and swords to curtail crime and terrorist. There hasn't been a murder or a mugging or a terrorist bombing or anything in forever.
Yeah.
Because anytime they sniff out something, they've got like a surveillance state going on and they think someone's going to like drop a bomb or something like that, they send out one of these little orphan girls with a gun to go and take care of business. And it's all done in the shadows.
Okay.
And like, yeah, just crime is zero.
Is there a particular reason why it's little orphan girls?
I mean, it's got to be orphans.
Yeah, true.
There are orphan boys, but they're in a whole different organization. But I won't get into that.
Okay.
They don't like each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's centered around one girl who, like, they're trying to stop a bank robbery. And she just pulls out like a Gatling gun and just mows down all the bad guys. It makes too much noise for the shadowy organization.
Exactly.
So she gets bumped down to go, like, you're not going to kill anymore. You're going to work at this coffee shop with the other rejects that have done bad things, as part of the shadow organization. And there's just about like underworld seediness going on, and all these girls running around with guns. Yeah, in Japan.
Is this more serious or more comedy?
I'd kind of put it like a middle of the road, lighthearted versus serious.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely got some serious moments.
Yeah.
Some
nice,
sappy stuff here and there.
Okay.
But it's just fun, and there's a lot of story there.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Who doesn't like underworld surveillance state girls with guns?
One shot or multiple seasons?
I don't remember. It's been so long since I wrote this on the list. I had to look. Actually, when you pick, because for the listeners, I've just got my big list, and I don't know what to do in what order, so I just give it to Donnell before the show and say, like, pick 3 off this list. And when you said that one, I was like, what was that one again? Like, because I watched so much. All right. This next one is called Commonplace to World's Strongest. It's actually got a different name. It's got like 3 different versions of the name. I don't know if I'm going to say this right. I'm going to say Arifureta. Arifureta.
Oh, okay.
So it's either just called that, or it's called that from Commonplace to World's Strongest, or it's just called From Commonplace to World's Strongest.
Okay.
This is about this is wizards and magic and all that sort of
All
stuff.
right.
A whole
Isekai?
class. Isekai, yes, yes. A whole classroom, including the teacher.
Including the teacher.
Yeah, have been transported into this fantasy world. They've got powers, level up system, all that sort of stuff. Our main character, he's kind of just a basic guy.
Right.
He's got some basic like support skills and stuff like that. Not like the worst, but not the best.
Yeah.
He's just common, just a regular everyday guy. There's like some real heroes amongst the mix and whatnot in the class. And they're raiding a labyrinth, and a big monster comes out, and they're kind of like on this bridge thing, and the bridge smashes and he falls to the bottom of the labyrinth and almost dies.
Okay.
But he's at the bottom. He's where all the bad things are. He's like surrounded by rubble. He's kind of like, I'm on my last leg. I'm about to die here.
Yeah.
This is over. Sees a monster that also died in the rubble. Starts eating it.
I guess that's one way to handle it.
This is a dangerous choice. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, this tastes like crap.
Yeah.
But I'm going to eat it. He's like, I got to do something. I need some food. I need some nourishment.
Yeah.
Kind of like dies and comes back to life again because of that
Okay.
sort of thing, if I can recall correctly. But he just starts killing and eating monsters and gets crazy strong
Okay.
and starts like learning how to like manifest things with his magic. He makes like guns and rockets and all in a car and all
Okay.
sorts of stuff. Like he learns how to do some crazy stuff with like monster parts and whatnot.
Yeah.
And he loses an arm at one point and makes like a mechanical arm. And so he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool. And he just works his way through this labyrinth. He ends up picking up a vampire girl who he has usually it's like a harem situation, but no, he's like, nope, this is this vampire girl that I've just been through this labyrinth with. This is my girl.
Yeah.
Other girls try to hit on him. He's like, no. This chick over here.
It's nice to
Jeez.
see.
Refreshing. Yeah.
It's refreshing. Just
Yeah.
monogamous. This is what I do.
Yeah. But he makes his way out of the labyrinth and he's pissed.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'm going home.
Yeah.
We're taking care of business. I'm going home. Right?
Yeah.
And he'll kill anybody. He will slaughter. He'll kill his other classmates. Anybody gets in, he's like, this is my goal.
Yeah.
Get out of my way or I'm going to shoot you in the face. Tells that to the teacher. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
He ain't
like,
nothing around.
and she's like, you are my student. You got to stop. And he's like, no, I'll shoot you in the face too. Anybody who gets in the way of me going home, we're getting out of here kind of thing. It's just really good and really cool and just fun. Yeah.
Nice.
And badass in a lot of ways. It's
Yeah.
Kind of it feels a little different than your usual Isekai.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to see what happens with it. They do spend some time with the other students and the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And the teacher has she's like a healer or something. She's got special powers too. And there's definitely like some moral things that come up, just like because everybody's got to do a lot of killing.
Yeah.
They're in a war.
Yeah.
With the demons and all this fighting and stuff, and like your fellow classmates are gonna die, and some people that don't want to do bad things might have to do some bad things. So it's really interesting. I think there's 3 seasons, and we got a 4th one on the way.
Okay.
I'm very excited about it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lastly, we are going to talk about The Wandering Witch: The Journey of Elena.
Okay.
This is about a little girl who starts reading. She's living with her parents. They're kind of out in the boonies of a fantasy world. And she's reading books about other places. And she's like, oh, I want to travel the world. And the parents are like, well, only witches can really do that.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, then I want to become a witch. It seems all very cutesy
I mean, yeah.
and everything. And so they're like, okay, we can't do it now. You have to wait till you get older. Fast forward to she's older. They get her an apprenticeship with a witch to like teach her, train her to be a witch and use magic and all this stuff. And the parents hire a witch and pay her extra. And it's like, hey, don't teach her magic. Make her fail. We don't want her to leave home.
Yeah.
All this sort of stuff. She perseveres, pushes through, becomes a witch. It's a whole, that's all like a whole episode. It's a whole process of her learning to be a witch and, getting recognized and getting, her credentials and stuff because it's all very official.
Yep.
Whatnot. Very traditional witch, ride on a broomstick, all that good stuff.
Cat?
She does not have a cat, but some do have cats.
Okay.
Some do have familiars. But yeah, all very cutesy. Right. Very kind of just, if you look like a poster of it, you're like, oh, this is not going to be dark. It's the whole, her basically like writing her memoir about traveling the world to all these places. And every place she goes, it's messed up. Like old school, messed up, black and white Twilight Zone messed up. Like she meets like a person in a field who's got like a big like bushel of fruit.
Yeah.
They wave her down. They're like, hey, can you take this fruit to the village if you're going that way? She's like, yeah. She gets to the village. She gets to the gate. The guard that's at the gate of the village sees the fruit, starts just like going at her with a sword and sets the fruit on fire. And he's like, you know what would happen if that one of those pieces of fruit got in here? We'd all be dead. And she's like, what do you mean? And she's like, that will kill us.
Yeah.
You cannot come in. You've been near the fruit.
Yeah.
So she goes back to like tell the person, and the person is like a plant person now. And like the whole, like within for like miles in every direction is now like killer plants.
Okay.
And apparently that's just the life cycle of this fruiting plant is like get a person to
take the fruit
to the village.
Yeah.
And turn somebody into another plant person that makes the fruit that sends it to the next village kind of thing. And every episode is like that.
Yeah.
Some of them are like really cool. Some of them are mysterious. Some of them are like, there's like one particular episode, and it's the only episode that's like that says at the very beginning, this is not for children. Do not let children watch this episode. And it is jacked up.
Damn.
It is one of the bloodiest things I've ever seen in anime, which says something.
That is saying something.
It is like, wow, I can't believe. Like, I'm just almost like, don't let adults watch this. Like, this is a lot. Yeah, all sorts of crazy stuff. Every episode's like a little Twilight Zone episode,
yeah.
and it's under the guise of this like just cutesy.
Yeah,
kind of.
I'm looking at
she's not like a little girl. She's like a grown woman.
I'm looking at the poster for it. It looks
you look at the poster for
nice
it.
and sweet.
Yeah,
just flying on a broom.
Just a wandering witch, just going around being witchy or something like Kiki's delivery service or something.
And yeah,
but no, you dig into this and you start watching the episodes and you're like, damn, this is really cool. But yeah, that's probably like I put that on the list of like a must watch.
Okay.
But yeah, you definitely gonna look at it and you're gonna read the synopsis and you're gonna be like, this isn't gonna be cool.
Yeah.
But no, you get into it and it's like, oh, this is really cool. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I got this week.
Here's a witch named Elena sets off on a journey across the world where she meets all kinds of people, making her world just a little bigger each time. Like, that just sounds like some like nice, casual anime where just a happy little witch is just out there just helping people solve
I went into
problems.
It. The only reason I watched it is because it just had such a high rating, and then I was like, I don't know if this is really going to be for old Robert here. This might just be. I probably just put it in the background while I was playing a game on my phone or something, and then very quickly I was like, hold up.
You're like, I'm gonna need
This is real.
I'm gonna need to put this phone down. Nice. Nice.
And Commonplace, the world's strongest. If you're into Isekai, that's also one, like a highly rated one that is worth one. That's probably in like the ethereal top 10 of people's list. If you see like a top 10, that's Commonplace, the world's strongest is probably going to be on there. I gotta tell you, so I mean, as far as like recent animes go, like how that time I got reincarnated as a slime, not even top 20 for me now.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's one of those things.
Like, I watch it, I'm kind of like, I almost want to go on Reddit and be like, into like the Isekai subreddit is like, is this anime actually any good? Like,
I think it's one of those
the
things
big ones.
because like it's also like there's just so many animes where like they're really popular,
Yeah.
but they're kind of like they're kind of like gateway animes,
and
then,
I
like,
admire
once you
for that. Yeah.
head down the path, you realize, oh, this only stood out to me because I hadn't heard of this kind of stuff before.
Yeah.
And then once you get in there,
somehow it broke through.
yeah. Like something about it gets you hooked enough, and then once you get in it and start, checking out other isekais and stuff, you're like, it's
Which is odd. I don't know how it did because it's not on like any major streaming service. It's not like on Netflix or anything.
I mean, you were the one who got me into it, so I don't know how how you found it.
But no, like the big ones are like Jobless Reincarnation, Overlord, Tanya the Evil, which is so good. That's probably like the one is like, okay, anybody, if someone said, what should I watch? I'm like, the Saga of Tanya the Evil. And then you should go read the manga, which I just kind of finished up, which is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so many out there that are Commonplace, The World's Strongest. Dungeon of Black Company, honestly, is kind of better than that. I should make a list.
Yeah.
I should make a list. Anyway, yeah.
All right. Oh, we're going to take ourselves a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to get back into Snowpiercer. All right, we are back with episode 5 of Snowpiercer, The Engineer.
That title hits hard. This is the best title of this season so far.
So, and this episode kind of, ruined it. I was like, we really should have before things got kicked off. And I guess you could say maybe Zara would do this, but I don't know if I really saw her as high enough on the character list to merit this. But I was like, we should have started like a Deadpool for this show. And just been like, one is just kind of like, who do we think is going to survive? And then like
final
also,
season, start killing people off.
Yeah, who's going to die? Who do you think will die first? But I mean, we kind of got our answer in this episode.
Oz is going to die. Ruth.
Ruth? You really? Oh.
I think Ruth is going to die.
Okay.
Leighton will survive.
Yeah, I think Leighton will.
I can see Josie dying.
I was saying, I'm actually feeling Josie's going to die.
Yeah, I think Leighton's going to live.
Yeah.
What about Roche?
If Ruth dies, I think Rose lives.
Okay.
I think one of them
You think he's going to be the new leader?
Yeah, I was saying one of them, when this series ends, one of them is running New Eden. So if Ruth is alive, Rose is dead. If
Wilford is definitely going to die.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's
dead.
Yeah. He's dead. Spoilers, by the way. Spoilers.
Yeah. If he's not dead by the end of this.
Oh, man.
You think so? Here's one thing I watched from watching this episode, and part of me is like, maybe Robert's right that they just didn't have enough money to pay her for a bunch of episodes. But you think Melody is going to die? Do you think we're going to see Melody again, or do you think she's already dead?
I think we're going to see her again, but yeah, she's definly. They are not paying the budget
They're
for
not playing
for Jennifer Connelly
to be in the show. This is our last season. We're not even sure if we're going to get to air it, so we're going to have you in like 2 up. We're going to be in the first episode, last episode. Like, I mean, just even the way the characters in the show are talking about her, like Melody's right through that door. Oh yeah, can we go? No, we're going over here.
All right, so this starts out with a Ben monologue, talking about the first year that the train is running.
Yep.
And he mentions that he says old Snowpiercer 1001 cars long.
I missed that part. That part.
It was easy to miss the way that he worded it. I didn't word it right and whatnot. We get an ultimatum from the Admiral that they will trade Lana for Big Alice.
Yes.
No way.
Yeah. I was like, while I completely...
Sorry, Liana.
Yeah. While I completely agree with a father, as if he was a father... If I was a father, I would be like, everything above my daughter. Everybody else, like Ruth and Alex and all the rest of them, like, nah.
There are a lot of other kids.
I could see how Leighton, like I said, I understand where Leighton's coming from because he's a father. This is his child. He lost the mother of his daughter. Yeah, he wants to do whatever. I'm like, sure, I give you that. I don't agree with you because I am not the father of this child, and everybody else who is not. Like, it's sad. It's fucked up. We don't want to give up your daughter, and we're all gonna like have grief about it, maybe even nightmares and stuff. Like, it's gonna hurt, but like we are reverse.
Yeah.
Going home.
Mission's over.
Nice try, everybody. Let's pack it up. Yeah.
But that's what Ruth should have been when
I mean, that was the whole thing Ruth said when they were leaving is, I'm here to make sure you get back in time. Like, that's why she's going. And so when Ruth was like, what should we do? I was like, Ruth, you know what you
got Josie and Leighton on Snowpiercer. They will find a way.
Yep.
Turn around.
And it's like, flip that train around. I mean, I guess there was always a possibility because I don't know where the tellies would have followed on there. They might have revolted.
You don't even give them a choice.
Yeah.
You tell them when you're on the way back.
Yeah.
Or you drop them off and then head out.
Yeah. What was I going to say? So yeah, and I mean, there's just so many times in this episode and the last episode where people are talking. I'm like, why are they allowing these people to talk? Because like Ben says, let me talk to Josie. I'll get her to agree, even though he actually goes the opposite way. And then they just have a private conversation. I'm like, no, I'm not letting the guy who's literally my enemy talk to my other enemy alone. Like, sure, you can talk to her, but one of my guards is standing right there. Yeah. Like, I'm just like, why would you let them talk? Like, I'm just like,
because you know what he's gonna try and talk her out of it.
Yeah,
and that's just how it's gonna go.
Also, Leighton gets, and it's one of the things I was like, man, that's the oldest trick in the book. I mean, it turned out not to be, where Leighton's like, prove my daughter's alive, and they get freaking the doctor on, and he's like, say Dada, and then something says Dada. I'm like, that could be a recording. That could be.
He would know the voice.
Like, then it could be, like I said, it could be a recording. Like it sounded terrible anyways coming through that microphone. I'm like, you record the girl saying Dada, and then you throw her out the window of a train. I'm just saying, like, if you're an evil villain. So I'm just like, Leighton, you're giving them Big Alice for a 2 seconds of a grainy recording that could be anything. I'm just like,
and Headwood's not giving up that alien baby.
I mean, she put a lot of work into that. I do know that's another. I mean, talking about me, not that he'd be on the Deadpool because he's a villain and we knew this, but Headwood's dead. Like, there's no way Leighton's gonna murder that lady. Like,
you remember a couple episodes ago, he's like, well, now I know how to treat him when I see him again.
Yeah. So I literally wrote in my notes, and I didn't go back to erase it because, like you said, we had the whole thing, and I literally wrote my notes. There's no way Ruth is going to give him Big Alice, and I'm like, damn it! It's like I was completely wrong when I wrote that down.
Yeah, she does decide to connect the trains.
Yeah,
and then they all go to the UN base, the silo. Mm-hmm. Not my favorite silo.
I did like when we got to kind of see the train coming up to that mountain, and like the look of it, that
was cool.
But yeah, they get inside, and once again, like I said, I mean, I just feel like, especially after you walked this train, after you got to hang out with Till for a little bit or maybe Leighton didn't get to hang out with Till, but still, like, hear about how Till has been being tortured. Ben also, you experience all this. I'm like, why? I mean, like I said, I guess Leighton's just, a father on a path. I'm like, why are you believing anything this man is telling you?
Yeah.
When they're like escorting him through and they're like, okay, everybody has to get cleansed or whatever, and they have Leighton go into that room. I thought for 1 second, but I guess it just was really cold, but I thought for 1 second they were literally like freezing him to death. And I was like, yeah, this is why you don't listen to him.
So when he's going through decom.
Yeah. So I was like, and like I said, the guy, does say multiple times, I'm a man of my word. It does kind of keep his word throughout it. But I'm just like, dude, everything I saw on that train, there is not one part of me to be like, yeah, this is going to work out.
Yeah. I really like the subtle detail of the floors being blocked off in all the elevators.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, what has happened there?
Yeah.
I hope we're going to get to find out, hopefully in a flashback of the 9-month time frame.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what else are they going to do with the time, right?
Yeah.
Because we're on episode 5. We've got 5 more episodes to go. And at the beginning, I was like, they're putting up too much story to finish this up. Now I feel like they are moving, slow it down a bit.
Yeah, I was like, we can ease up
like
off
we're
that
almost
throttle a little bit.
This feels like second to last episode situation.
I could see this as the
third to last.
Yeah, that's what I say. Third to last episode. I see this like we got one more big episode, then we're gonna wrap this up. Which, I mean, if this was, a lot of shows, 8 episodes is that'd be the sweet spot. But they are going for 10, so hopefully we get some flashback. They gather them all together except for Josie, who's misplaced. They say they're gonna heal her from her injury, which once again I'm not trusting anything these guys
put them in a room with sad, empty vending machines.
And they're just like, was it Melody who got us all here? And this is where, like I said, because Jennifer Connelly is too expensive. They're like, oh no, she's actually off site. She's not here. And I was just like, cool. And that's when we get
you don't send her off site. You send someone else off site. She's locked in the lab.
Exactly. If she is as pivotal to this science as possible, they don't send her out there. I mean, she is kind of hot-headed and strong-willed. Maybe she forced them to let her go.
True.
She definitely was one of those let me do my own work, sort of scientist.
Well, and that's when we get the big reveal, which wasn't a big reveal if you saw the trailers.
If you saw the trailers. I just had no idea how he's going to get back involved and how he's going to get back on the train, but now we know.
But Wilford is back.
Yeah. Fuck this dude. Like, when they put him in last season, when they're like, we're going to put you in your thing and send you off. Like, I didn't know for sure. I mean, I don't know. I kind of did. You know, he's coming. And I was like, nah, Wilford, I'm not, capital punishment. You can be, I don't know where you stand up, but there's some people like, nah, that some people you just gotta kill him. I'm sorry. And Wilford, after everything he's done and how fucked up he was, like, no, he's definitely in that. No, this is you just gotta kill him. You just gotta put him down.
So I maybe it's just me, but I feel like Sean Bean wasn't in it.
Yeah.
In this role,
he seemed.
It feels different.
Yeah, he seemed like he wasn't.
Which maybe you gotta
much.
like. He's a different character now because of what he's been through, and he's not in the position of power that he used to be.
I mean, he definitely, when in the previous seasons, he was larger than life, but that's also because he was the main antagonist and had all the power was in his hands. So
it just felt older and tired, and didn't have the voice right to me.
Mm-hmm.
I love Sean Bean.
Me too.
But I haven't seen him in anything in like a couple of years.
Yep.
Since the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe he's been through some
knows?
stuff in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
We all have. A lot's happened in the last 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like one of the things they talk about actually when they're getting through is they're like, yeah, this place is set up to is like set up like a labyrinth and to keep you from knowing the time of day. And I'm like, that's the exact same philosophy they use in casinos.
Yeah.
Because it's just, like they're using it here to keep you working because you just don't know how much time has passed. But it's like casinos just so you keep on spending that money.
Yeah. I still swear that the sound of the self checkouts at QFC sound exactly like slot machines. I swear, if you put them together, it'd be indistinguishable, and I hate it. Headwood and Josie. Josie tries to kill Headwood. I'm like, do it.
Snap her neck. But then Headwood, and especially after what happens the next time we see Headwood and Josie, but Headwood is just like, you gotta save Liana, and only you can help, which gets Josie to hesitate, so a soldier can put her out. And that's one thing I was noticing. We didn't really see him at first, but there's two tiers of soldiers. You have your normal standard soldiers, and you got your fucked up guys in the full mass and stuff. And there's definitely a lot more. So it's like whatever happened, those are the troops he took with him. And I think
those are the special troops. Yeah.
I don't think it was as successful as Josie, but I think that whatever they did make them more cold resistant. Yeah. Because I still remember in the first episode.
Yeah, because they're the ones who are outside.
Yeah, and they were just like in the snow for who knows how long, waiting for Ben and Till to show up. So I'm like, like it wasn't as successful, but you got some super.
Well, I mean, this is when we started getting into theory stuff, right? Because there's a whole bubble thing at New Eden, and Nema does ask Alex at some point, like, "Are you getting nosebleeds?"
Yeah, are you getting nosebleeds?
And I don't think that these missiles are supposed to do what they're saying they're supposed to do.
He's saying they're gonna create a network of bubbles and be able to go outside. And it just seems like I feel like there's definitely something else going on here.
Yeah. It is not about rewarming the planet per se. There's something more adjacent going on.
Because like I said, so Wilford's back, and they even so Alex so basically Wilford gets sewn up. Leighton tries to kill him, and isn't allowed to. They take Leighton out of the room, leave everybody else together, and that's when Alex decides C wants to go see Wilford.
Yep. Well, Wilford goes to Big Alice.
Yeah.
First of all, he would need a platoon of guards.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's out to get him.
Everyone's gonna murder him.
Yeah. We also kind of find out that Wilford's behind the whole plot to take Liana. He was the one who knew about Liana. I wonder,
because Headwood did work for Wilford. I don't know how he would have gotten a hold of her, but maybe he had they had old walkie-talkie. I don't know. Maybe there isn't some mole inside besides Headwood. Because Wilford could definitely convince Headwood to do whatever he wanted.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. So anyways, but how would Wilford didn't even know? Were they talking about New Eden before they kicked Wilford off the train?
I don't remember.
Because I'm he wouldn't know about New Eden. Who knows? Anyway, well, I guess if Wilford was picked up by the one guys, and then Mel and them were picked up, and then if Mel let it slip, that then maybe that's how Wilfred found out about New Eden. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you got to remember the 9-month time skip.
Yeah.
Right. Because the New Eden situation where they went and got Liana and stuff, that took place at the end of the 9 months. Right. And we don't know when they picked up Wilfred, but we assume like closer to the beginning of that 9 month, because we don't know how long he would be able to survive inside the little car.
Yeah.
thing.
I mean, not long. I mean, I guess
but then they got Snowpiercer 9 months before.
Yeah.
Right. So that's how because Snowpiercer knows about New Eden.
Yeah.
They could have told Wilfred and the others about New Eden.
Yeah. Well, but that's my thing is like, it had to be because I just can't see. I mean, I guess, you know what? Like I said, the soldiers did present themselves as the heroes and the good guys. So I could, because at first I say, why would they voluntarily tell them about New Eden? But yeah, if you're thinking,
well, and Wilfred would have been like, part of the, talking with the UN guys.
Yeah.
Would have been like, we're going to need the Snowpiercer and we're going to need Big Alice.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they got Snowpiercer, he would have been like, where's Big Alice? And they would have been like, well, they went off to do this New Eden thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and they would have said the Horn of Africa, and then they would have immediately known where that was.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, back with Josie and Hedgewood. Josie wakes up after being drugged and is like, where's Liana? Can we save her? And that's when, like I said, this is where Hedgewood has just 100% signed her death certificate.
Yeah.
If it wasn't still in the kid, when she just shows that she's never changed, she's just as messed up as before, where she's just like, oh, the baby's fine, it's you. And so I didn't really get a good look at these drugs. Like, it looked like, is she just like putting like a higher caliber of the drugs she used? Because like I saw in the bags, one of them said C10, but then like it panned over to another one, it said like C12. So I was like, is he like trying to make Josie like more?
What was more interesting to that is that the blood bag said her name, had Josie's name. The other bag had Wilfred's name.
Oh, see,
so is Wilfred becoming like, were they mixing the blood? Like, was blood coming out of Josie or going into Josie?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
There's a lot of questions about what's going on with them bags. And it's like, okay, is Wilfred a cold guy now?
Yeah. I mean, maybe that might explain why he would. Because I was about to say, I don't know how long you could survive in one of those things. That little.
Yeah, but that would have he would have gotten that treatment after, right?
True. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's very interesting.
There's a lot of mysteries,
intrigue and mystery going on.
And I'm really hoping, since they know this is the last season, that they're going to answer all these questions for us. And I think they will, because they got 5 more episodes for sure.
Anyways,
joints.
Yeah,
those would have gotten smoked a long time ago.
Long time ago.
She's hoarding the joints. No way. She's like, oh, I threw them away, and he's like, oh, that was petty.
Yeah, yeah. So Alex does go to Wilfred and basically wants to like figure out what he's doing, which he's Wilfred, so he doesn't just tell her. But basically he's able to kind of deduce that he's, as always, there's something more to why he's not about saving the world.
Yeah, I felt like this exchange could have been so much better. Yeah. This could have been a lot more cat and mouse, where like she was playing him, but I didn't get that. Like, I wish that she would kind of play into him a little bit to get him to give more information away, where it was clearly one-sided of him trying to play on her feelings and their relationship to get more out of her.
Yeah. But then the rest, they decide they're breaking out. They're getting Big Alice.
MacGyver, a key.
They finally make the choice that they should have made originally. That like, we got to get back to New Eden and stuff. So yeah, they're breaking out. They go to get Mel because they want to take Melody with them, and guess what? She's not there, but Wilfred is. And I was like, Ben, do it, kill him.
Yeah,
kill him, Ben.
Does give him a good punch.
Like, he gave him a good punch, but then I was like, finish the job.
So before they get to that, though, they all split up.
Yeah,
and I do love the Ruth line. Like, it's been I've come a long way since the Teals.
Though I do want to jump back to when she's talking to the Admiral on the train when they're trying to distract or whatever, and just delay. That's the word I'm looking for, delay. And just like, she just flopped right back into that hospitality voice and politeness. Like, oh, we're just having a little bit of technical. I was like, Ruth, she may be, rebel leader Ruth, Mayor Ruth. She's seen some shit, but she knows where she's from.
Yeah. You can take her out of the teals, but you can't take the teals out of her.
Exactly.
And for those listeners that don't know or remember, the teals are what the hospitality wore back in the day, many a season ago.
Mm-hmm. It was a different time.
I need to go. When this is done, I need to go rewatch the whole thing from start to finish and skip season 3.
Exactly. But anyway, so they split up. Ruth is going to find Leighton and Josie, and Ben and Till are going to get Big Alice. Like I said, Ben and Till stumble upon Wilford, and Ben couldn't finish the job, so Wilford alerts everybody, which, I mean, it was bound to happen anyways. There's no way they're sneaking through this whole place without somebody catching them. But basically, they get going. They get the tellies to start blocking off all the entrances into Big Alice, and they're getting the train ready. And meanwhile, Ruth is actually able to find Leighton, but a little too slow, because she thinks they're coming around the corner, and they're going to the elevator.
That was funny.
I just love. She's ready to go. I was like, oh, Ruth about to throw down. Let's see.
They turn into the elevator.
And
like, oh,
bing, and I was like, uh-oh. She was like, uh-oh, Ruth. Uh-oh. But yeah, like I said, Ruth right then, like, she can't get to Leighton, doesn't know where Josie is. She decides to go back, and the whole time I was thinking, I was like, yeah, this was the choice you should have made originally. When Leighton and Josie, because you're leaving the 3 people who you were going to leave anyways. It was going to be Leighton, Josie, and the baby. And that's exactly who they leave behind. And I was like,
they get Miles, though.
They did get Miles and stuff. So, yeah, I guess. And they got a few people off the train. Because they got
Data, you know?
What's the guy's name? I don't know his name.
They get Till.
Yeah, but they got Till. But got Ruth's replacement, or that one dude, the guy who took over hospitality after she became the rebel leader. So yeah, they do get some people. They get some people. They save who they can. And then we come to the reason why this episode is named The Engineer.
They've got to do a manual release.
Yes.
To get the cars apart.
And Ben phrases it as, because he's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to go over to the Snowpiercer side, and Till's like, no, don't do that and stuff, and he's like, hey, Melody's here, Alex is here,
you got all the engineers you need.
Yeah, I'll be fine, don't worry about
me. By the way, now, like, for New Eden, it's just Javi.
Yeah. Well, Alex is, Miles is an engineer.
Oh,
trainee.
True. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I was at first like, who's going to drive? Till can't drive the train, but I'm like, oh yeah, Miles.
Well, Miles is probably like full-fledged now.
Yeah.
It's been a year,
It's been a year, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, he talks Till into believing like, yeah, I'm just going over, like, I'm just staying here. I'm staying with my family in a sense. He loves Melody and he's close with Alex. This is where he belongs. And so Till lets him go, gets everybody prepared. Ruth returned and is like, cool, let's get out of her. And she's like, where's Ben? And he's like, oh, he's doing the manual override. And that's when Ruth is like, the manual override's outside, which 100% agree with you. Why? Why is that outside?
Yeah.
You were building this train for, like, that's what we saw in Fly.
I mean, maybe just that way not everybody can get to it, but there's other ways to secure it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You do have the cold soup man, like, now I can't remember his name, but the big dude.
Yeah.
Who may or may not be dead. We haven't seen him in a while. But anyways, and so just because Boki, yeah. Just from that moment, like, I believed Ben a little bit for a second. I was like, oh, okay, Ben's gonna stay behind with them. And then, like, when Ruth drops it, I was like, oh shit. I was like, Ben's not making it into the later half of this season.
Sacrifice from bread, and he goes outside without. I feel like he wouldn't last long enough to unscrew that panel.
Yeah.
Because it's cold outside.
It's real cold. Yeah. I mean, if it's cold enough to freeze if
they had done it, like, in the tunnel.
Like in the tunnel. And
it probably would have been okay.
Yeah. And, like, I know it's just, because, they wanted to have that shot. But I was like, Till goes rushing. I'm like, what you going to do, Till? There's nothing anybody can do. Like, there's no way you can stop him. He's on the other side. He's on the other train. And I was like, but she goes rushing to it and just watches through the window as he freezes to death. And I was like, damn.
Such a good scene. Not very heartbreaking to me.
Yeah, no.
Personally.
I mean, no offense to Ben, but he was definitely lower on the tier.
He's side.
So
that's why. Ooh, I just made up a Gen Z.
He's
side.
Yeah.
Side character.
You're a side, obviously. Yeah.
That's gonna be in there with Skibbity.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. I'm sure they'll all be saying it, Robert. You are the trendsetter.
That's right. That's right.
And then basically to wrap up this episode, the general's like, hey, I'm a man of my word. You didn't get me Big Alice, but I'm going to give you or let you see your daughter.
Alana, yeah.
And daughter's being held by Wilfred. Which
This is not a good move.
No. Like
This goes from I'm going to kill you to I'm going to strap you to a table and spend the next 2 years going at you with a potato peeler.
Yes.
Like, yeah, it's not just murder.
No, this is
this is torture for a long time with no end.
Yeah.
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 Death by 1,000
You're going
cuts.
to want me to kill you.
Yeah.
By the
You're
time
gonna
I'm
beg
done.
forever.
Exactly. You're gonna be like, please kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a good move. Not a good move at all. But another solid episode. Another solid episode.
Yeah, very fast one. Not a lot of. I mean, a lot. It did give a lot of stuff, but very quickly. And just like, yeah.
It's going to be interesting. Like I said, yeah, I do think we're going to get like a flashback episode or something because
I mean, we gotta
like
we got even if it's just like what do you call it when they just show like skip a bunch of things.
Time lapse.
Montage.
Yeah,
give us a montage of like what happened with Mel, you know, for over the 9 months and like, you know, why the floors of the elevator are closed out. What are all the mysteries? So we got to figure out like why the floor elevators are cleared out.
Got to figure out
what
what's
is
up
the
with
Gemini
the
formula stuff.
Yeah.
Why did they need Liana? What's with the new serum? That
I think we got the answer to why they needed Liana. I think
it's to make more cold people.
No, I think Liana was to get Big Alice.
No, Headwood I think has ulterior motives for
Maybe.
Liana.
Yeah, maybe.
We got to figure out what the boom sound is. We got to figure out like who the hand goes
is,
to. Why is Javi here, or why is Oz hearing the voices? Where is Boki?
Yeah, so much going on.
What's going on with the bubbles? What are they really doing with the rockets?
Yep.
There's a lot of mystery going on. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And what do the nosebleeds really mean?
Yeah, well, the nose. So much.
I mean, we know it has something to do with the bubbles, but what do the bubbles really mean? You know,
exactly.
Like, there's just a lot.
It's good. I've been enjoying this. I'm really glad they brought it back or got it on TV somewhere. Fantastic.
As always, you can find us on our website, watchinitpod.com. There you can find links to our social media and to email us, watchinitpodcast@gmail.com. Donnell, what else should they do?
Well, we are, as you can tell by this episode, we're on time. We're coming out right after the episode comes out, so just stay on top of Snowpiercer, because if you tune in the episode next day, we're going to be spoiling it all for you. So yeah, just keep watching Snowpiercer. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. I'm glad this show gets to finish out its run. Hoping for a good finale. And as always, give us any rated reviews, 5 stars. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.